Good morning. Today it is 5:35 a.m. and I'm on top of a fucking sewage plant. But for good reason. I was wondering last night before I went to bed how we have such access to such a variety of knowledge. Like, think about it. You can literally order any piece of literature online that's ever existed throughout all of history. And if you look at people today, they're so fucking stupid, aren't they? Right? I'm just gonna tell you the truth. It's not nice to say that, but they're just stupid. And it makes me wonder how Seneca, sure, he had a library, he had access to books, and he had wiser insights. He was a wiser being than most of us, with videos like this and podcasts and infinite books that we could read at the snap of a finger. And I was wondering why, and it's precisely for this reason. Look how quiet it is. There's literally nobody awake right now. And I can think. I can sit with what's already in my mind. Let me tell you about a little ancient Chinese proverb. So I learned this from the 48 Laws of Power, right? Imagine two Chinese boys, young Chinese boys, and they have 10,000 pages that they need to get to the emperor by the end of the day. They're each holding like a stack of 5,000 papers like this. It's like tall, it's strapped together with strings, you get the idea. And they're walking, and it's getting late, and like the emperor's palace is an hour away, and they have 2 hours to get to it. But they've been moving quite slow, and they come across an old man, and he says blah 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 blah. He's asking them about the papers, whatever. And they're figuring, all right, they're not going to make it there in time. They're moving way too slow with these papers. So one of them suggests that they should start speed walking, that they should pick up the pace. And the old man says that's unwise. You shouldn't do that. And they do it anyways. And they trip over a branch or a rock or something, and the papers go everywhere, and they have to pick them up, and they arrive like 10 hours late. Old man told them that you would get there in time if you walked slow enough. It's a fish. I'm sorry, this camera's kind of shit. Holding it like this. So we're actually just gonna set up the mother fucking tripod. This should be much better. Anyways, alright, so what the fuck does that mean? What was I saying? You may get there in time if you walk slow enough. Now, I want to bring into this an idea that I heard from Elliot Hulse. It's not his idea, but it's about learning. It's about knowledge, specifically about reading. It says there's 3 types of leaders. There's 3 types of way. I wouldn't like to say learn, but to absorb knowledge. There's the jelly bag, there's the sponge, and there's the Golconda. The jelly bag it's that thing that they use to pump the icing onto the cake. Whoa. They fill it up, they cut the hole in the bag, and it's called a jelly bag, if you didn't know that. And the jelly bag spits out everything that he consumes, meaning knowledge, exactly as he consumed it, right? It's not special. It's like I can memorize the Pythagorean theorem, that doesn't mean that I learned it. And I can tell you everything about it, but if I can't do it, then did I learn it? Right? If you can speak it, but you can't apply it in practice, you haven't learned it. Then there's the sponge. Sponge is, to a lot of people, they think, oh, well, the sponge is good. You're soaking up all the knowledge. Really, with the sponge, what I mean by the sponge is you absorb the knowledge, but when you spit it out, when you try to relay it, when you try to use it, it comes out a little bit dirtier because you soak up all that grime, that muck, that, comes, the dirt that comes with what you learn. Then there's the Golconda, and the Golconda is supposed to be like the good one, where it's the thing where the prospectors in like the 1800s and shit, they still do it today, go into the water, put it under the dirt, and it's that bowl with the holes in it, and you shake it out, and you get the little gold pieces, and all the dirt falls through. And the idea behind that is you skim through the knowledge, you're reading, but then you find those little pieces of gold that are really valuable. Now, I actually disagree with all of them. To me, learning has to do with what Robert Greene describes as a dead idea and an alive idea. So a dead idea is like the jelly bag, where you absorb the knowledge and you can say it, you can sound smart, but it's not special, right? A dead idea is an idea that you relay exactly as it was told to you. There's no, your personality is not a part of it. It's just there, it's empty. It just makes you sound smart. It doesn't make you smart. Same with the sponge and with the Golconda. Even though, you have that really good piece of knowledge, it's still not special. It's still just, a fact that you've memorized. What makes an idea learnt, I think, and what makes it alive is when you take it and you do what I've just done, where I connected that ancient Chinese proverb with something I learned from Elliot Hulse, with Robert Greene's work, where he said, a dead idea and a live idea. That made it alive. I connected things. I put my own opinion into them. I made it mine, and I'm using it. So what I'm saying is, slow the fuck down, right? Come to a place like this where you can listen to the birds and you can think. And instead of blazing through all this knowledge, we started this podcast on this channel, me and my friend Giovanni. And I deleted my entire old channel where I would make videos like this, and it was actually doing pretty well. To focus on this, I really committed. And I'm not gonna lie, the content's pretty shit. We just have a phone and a tripod. We have to buy some nice cameras in the future. We're gonna buy microphones. We're going all in on this. But for right now, I was looking at what can I do to make the content better. Well, I can improve my speaking, my voice, and I can improve the ideas. So I start blazing through all this knowledge, thinking that I'm gonna learn, I'm gonna become so wise, I'm gonna be so smart, and I'm gonna relay it on the podcast, and people are gonna love me and whatever. And I did the opposite. I walked too fast and I fell. I didn't learn anything. I became upset that I felt like I wasn't learning, right? I would read 20, 30 pages of a book, then I would watch this podcast, then I would start watching another one, and I would have multiple tabs open. And I felt like none of the knowledge was being ingrained within me, and I wasn't truly learning. And what Seneca proposed, who I referenced earlier, how I said he's wiser than people now with infinite access to knowledge, Seneca proposes that you should digest, right, one work at a time. You should let it marinate. And if you read Letters from a Stoic, which I encourage you to do, it's a great book, you can see at the end of each letter, he'll give a piece of advice from another philosopher and speak on it. And it will always be from the same set of people, like Epicurus and some other people, maybe Epictetus, I don't know. And because he gave himself time to sit with the ideas, to fully absorb one work of knowledge, and to process what he really thought about it, to make it make sense to himself. It truly ingrained inside of him. And it made him better, wiser than most people that will blindly seek knowledge and who will be able to recite facts but will never have truly learned anything. So what I'm saying is, slow the fuck down. The wisdom is within you. The wisdom is within the birds over here. This sunrise at 5:47. This beautiful body of water. The noises. So I encourage you to take, people are waking up, man. I encourage you to take one day. Where are you? Oh, this guy's looking at me, bro. Oh, he's real fucking looking at me, bro. Take a day. Instead of rapidly consuming knowledge, pick one book. You can even do this for a week, but I'm sure you won't be willing to. Cut out all the bullshit shorts and all of the videos like this that you think are productive, even though they're not really helping you. And just sit with a book and read it. And then grab a piece of paper and write about what you learn. And see the difference it makes when you can really process your opinions on something. You will leave that day, that week, however long you choose to do this, with so much more knowledge than you could even imagine. And it will have truly been learned. It won't just be ideas that you can recite, because you'll use it, you'll see it in your life. That's what I want you to do with this. I want you to take action on it so that you learn everything I just taught you.